Welcome to Pricing Your Time, a presentation on how to charge for your custom framing labor. This is another part in a series of educational sessions featuring ideas on pricing and profitability for custom frame shops, and they're sponsored by the TrueView Glazing Company. I'm Ken Baur, president of KB Consulting, a company dedicated to helping small businesses maximize profits. Today, we're going to discuss a topic that many shop owners struggle with: profitable pricing for labor used on time-consuming production tasks. In the custom framing industry, point-of-sale systems have been a valuable tool in pricing frames, matting, and glazing. Yet in areas where very few materials are used, but the process is time-consuming, there's a lot of uncertainty about how to price correctly for the time it takes to complete these parts of the job. In fact, it's definitely the area where I get the most questions about how to price. Examples of these processes could include stretching canvas, dry mounting, applying frame space, or even designing creative mat board openings. In fact, much of what we discuss today can help you create more profitable pricing for complicated shadow box projects. In this presentation, we're going to talk about how to create the correct shop charge or hourly rate for doing labor-intensive parts of jobs. Then we're going to talk about ways to learn how much time these processes take to complete. Next, we'll discuss converting time to a united inch charge so that your point of sale system can create the proper fees based on project size. Finally, we'll discuss how to enter your new charges into your point of sale system. I've attempted to keep the math or calculation discussion in this presentation as basic as possible. There are certainly other more detailed ways to calculate shop charge or to calculate the time a process takes, but this presentation will concentrate on the basic concepts so that the principles can be applied without too much work for shop owners. To help you use these strategies, I'll also provide a labor calculating tool upon your request to help you do these calculations quickly and easily. The first step in determining how to charge for labor is to determine how much your hourly shop charge should be. Hourly shop charge is the amount you should charge your customers for labor. Your shop charge should cover all your basic wage and overhead expenses, but also provide a profit. You might remember our previous discussion about the operating expenses found on a company profit and loss statement. If you're unsure of these costs, you can find this presentation on TrueView's YouTube channel, and it's called Numbers That Matter. Here's an example of what operating expenses might look like for a one-person shop doing about $150,000 in sales. In our example, we see that the operating expenses for this company total $92,400 for the year. This figure includes wages in addition to other expenses like rent and advertising. Calculating hourly shop wage requires us to determine how many hours a year are being worked to produce project. Let's say our company is open 40 hours per week for 52 weeks a year. That would mean total hours worked would potentially be 2,080 per year. However, we know that all these hours are not spent on producing projects. We take vacations, breaks, and also work on administrative tasks that have nothing to do with producing projects. So we need to reduce the hours we work to get a more realistic idea of time spent on producing projects. Since this is a one-person shop, vacations might not be taken, but at least 25% of the owner's time is spent doing administrative and other tasks that are not related to producing projects. So we need to reduce the hours worked by at least 25% of the total 2,080 hours the shop is open. That would reduce the productive hours to 1,560 hours per year. If we divide the operating expenses by the hours we have to create the projects, we arrive at a shop charge that covers our costs of operation. In this example, we would divide operating expenses of $92,400 by 1,560 hours to arrive at a shop charge of $59.23. However, we want to make a profit on our labor investment, so we need to add something to the amount that it costs to cover operations. A typical markup on labor rates is about 20 to 30%, well below the markups used on materials, but still enough to generate a profit on labor. To calculate a shop charge that provides a 25% profit above our break-even amount of $59.23, we need to divide this break-even shop charge by 0.75. Doing so gives us a shop charge of $78.97, which you can round up to $80 per hour. This number represents the amount this shop should charge customers for tasks that require mostly labor instead of materials. This calculation is basically the same if you have additional staffing in your shop. In that situation, you would adjust the total hours worked to reflect the approximate number of hours worked by the staff to produce projects. Remember to reduce those staff hours for vacation time and hours spent on projects and breaks that are not being used to create custom projects. We have now seen how calculating an hourly shop rate can be accomplished. But how do you use this in your business? Tasks like stretching a canvas or fitting together a project require properly charging for the time it takes to do these things. I've found that the best way to create accurate fees for these types of tasks is to do simple time studies. Here's an example of a very easy way to record how long it takes your shop to complete a labor-intensive task like canvas stretching. In this example, the time it takes to complete the stretching of a canvas is determined by recording when you start and when you stop. This allows you to calculate how long it took. In addition, you will want to record how large the canvas was by listing the total united inches of the project. United inches are calculated by adding the length of the canvas to the width. For example, if you had a 16 by 20 inch canvas to stretch, the united inches would be 16 plus 20 equaling 36. In order to get an accurate idea of the time it takes to do various sizes of canvas stretches, you need to record at least 6 of these types of projects. Now, after you have the data for at least 6 various size canvas stretches and the time required to complete each, add up all the times you recorded and also add up the total united inches from these projects. In our example, the 6 projects took 420 minutes to complete, stretching a total of 290 united inches. Now, just like when calculating productive shop hour time, add an additional 25% to the time it took to do the stretching. This is to offset the gathering and cleaning up of supplies, interruptions and breaks, and conversations that occur when working. Do this by dividing the total minutes by 0.75 to arrive at an adjusted time of 560 minutes in our example. The next step is to determine how much we need to charge per united inch to make sure that we are receiving our goal of $80 per hour. We calculate this by dividing the total adjusted time of 560 minutes by the total united inches in our study of 290 to arrive at 1.92, meaning that it takes 1.92 minutes, or about 1 minute and 55 seconds, to stretch 1 united inch of canvas. Earlier, we learned that our hourly shop charge was $80. That also means that we charge $1.33 per minute. Now we've learned that stretching 1 united inch of canvas takes us 1.92 minutes. If we multiply 1.92 times our shop per minute charge of $1.33, we now know that we must charge $2.55 per united inch to profitably stretch canvas. In your POS system, if you set up your stretching price table to charge $2.55 per united inch for stretching canvas, the system will now calculate the proper amount for the size of canvas you want to stretch. For example, if you wanted to charge to stretch a 16 by 20 inch canvas, the system would calculate the united inches of the project as 36 and multiply it by the $2.55 charge, resulting in a stretching fee of $91.80. Please do not assume that the $2.55 per united inch charge is correct for your shop. You may have a different shop wage, and it may take a much different time for you to do canvas stretching. This is one of the main benefits of this pricing method. It allows you to set your labor fees according to the cost of your operation and according to how long it takes you to complete certain tasks. Because these calculations can be confusing, I've created a calculator which can determine the pricing for you. First step, just enter your hourly shop charge in the top of the calculator. In this example, it would be $80. Then enter the task you wish to create a united inch charge for, and that would be canvas stretch in our example. Next, add up all the minutes from your time studies and enter that number. That would be 420. Then enter all the united inches involved in the time studies, or 290 in our example. And then this calculator will automatically increase that time by 25%, giving us 560 automatically filled into the third column in our example. And finally, the calculator will tell you what the correct charge per united inch is, or $2.55 per united inch in our example. Oversized projects for each labor task need a separate calculation because they often distort the time studies when combined with regular sized projects. Therefore, it's recommended that you create separate time studies for projects over the size of 72 united inches. Most point of sale systems allow you to create an additional united inch charge for oversized projects. Common labor tasks that could be assigned a shop wage charge are cross stitch and needlework stretching, canvas stretching, fitting or backing off projects, float mounting, dry mounting, applying frame space, intricate mat designs, shadow box items for layouts and mounting, armatures, and basically any time consuming production process which involves very few materials. The final step to setting up is to set up your POS pricing tables based on your united inch calculations. Here's a screenshot of the stretching pricing tab found in Lifesaver. Similar tables are also found for mounting and specialty charges so that you can enter your proper charges per united inch for all your labor-intensive framing tasks. In the special charges pricing table, you can enter your shop charge per hour as a per unit charge instead of a united inch charge. When you want to charge for extra labor, determine how many hours of time the task will take, and then enter the charge from your specials table when creating the order. You can increase the fee from 1 hour to several hours by changing the quantity from one to any number of hours you feel the project will take. The system will then multiply the quantity you enter by your shop charge and apply the correct fees to the project. All right, let's recap our discussion on how to charge for the time it takes to do labor-intensive aspects of custom framing projects. First, calculate your company shop charge. Then determine how long your common labor-intensive tasks take by doing time studies. Next, convert the time it takes to do these projects into united inch charges that reflect your shop hour rate, or use my free calculator to do this quickly. Next, enter your new United Inch charges into your point of sale pricing tables. And finally, start making the proper money on your time. If you would like a free copy of the United Inch Labor Calculator, contact me using the email on the screen. To share or find this presentation along with other helpful videos and content, visit TrueView's website or their YouTube channel. Thanks again to TrueView for helping to make this information available to the framing industry. Their contributions make it possible for shops to offer innovative materials and to learn more about profitable custom framing. I hope this presentation helps you create a more profitable method of charging for those difficult and time-consuming parts of custom framing projects while allowing you to have more confidence in your pricing strategies. Thank you for watching.